Hello, friends. We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kandron.
I'm over here like, good morning, because
Hello,
clearly I am not
hello,
already up.
hello.
It's Deja. How y'all doing, honey? She
And
here.
we're here. We have a full live of foolishness and ruckery from the girlies over on Bravo, on OWN, and also some pop culture stuff. So, join us, pour yourself a cocktail, and let's get to it. What are you having to drink?
We got some H2O, and I did get. I'm gonna put it on Instagram for you guys as we're trying to put a little bit more lifestyle stuff up. So I picked up a Trader Joe's. It's not the Reserve, but it's a Sauvignon Blanc and the Coastal. It's pretty good. It's a little bit more on the sweeter side for me, so I probably will not be drinking a lot of this because I'm more of a dry wine girl, but it's pretty good.
All right, y'all know me. I ain't gonna do nothing else. I'm gonna make a cocktail. So this is like a little champagne cocktail. I had to put some ice in it, y'all, because it was warm. But I did the Black Girl Magic Bubbly in a can. So they have cans. And at Target, they're also, if you use your Target app, they're an additional $2. You get a $2 rebate for them. So they end up being about $6.99, and they have a rosé, they have a Reisling. So that's what I'm using today. And I use some blood orange liqueur and the Casamigos, the little mixers that they did with Williams Sonoma, the guava ginger one. So little cocktail,
tasty.
little champagne cocktail.
Listen, I honestly, I feel like I'm about to get into the girls doing the mocktails because I really am like enjoying like the concoctions that they're coming up with. My only issue is that well, y'all don't know, but like I don't really do a whole lot of sugary drinks. My like go-tos, I actually have an empty can, are these little guys. So like Spindrift, if you ever want to like sponsor us, please do, because every live I typically have some sort of cocktail made with that. But yeah, I'm interested to see how I'm gonna fare with like the mocktails. I haven't I've had a couple of them that I've saved, and then shout out to cousin Meeks. She sends me stuff all the time because we're always like trying to concoct something. Yeah. So we'll see what we come up with. I'm trying to share the video, which is why I'm looking down. There we go.
Well, the mocktail is like something that I do because I'm trying to drink less, just in general. But something that I do is if you just buy herbs, even if you buy herbs to cook with, you can use them as a part of your like cocktail situation. So basil's really good. If you buy basil to like make pasta, you can put it with berries. And if you're feeling a little cute now, you can give it a little splash of balsamic vinegar. And if you have like a syrupy balsamic vinegar, that's even better. Or you can make a quick syrup with like a balsamic vinegar and like a little bit of brown sugar and just kind of reduce it down. Put that in there, smash up some berries with some basil and top it off with your sparkling water. Delicious.
Child, she fancy, honey, because that's a whole lot.
It's really not. It's really not. Like I buy at Marshall's or like TJ Maxx or Home Goods or whatever. They actually have what is it? They call it it's not syrupy, but they already have like a balsamic reduction essentially. So you just put that in the glass, muddle your berries, add some basil, add your stuff.
Sounds like we might have us some content in the works. Maybe we can get Kandron to teach me how to make some of her bougie mocktails.
Same for mint. If you just grab some mint, you can muddle that with, you already always have berries on hand, so you can muddle it with your berries. You can even, if you have frozen fruit for smoothies or whatever, I'm all about using what I have on hand. So that's usually what I do for my mocktails.
So, y'all know this is the Get Ready with Us. So as I am, you see me patting away. I have like this old, and don't be like Deja, okay? I'm a retired makeup artist. Don't do this shit. But I have this old sample of Kevin Aquan's Skin Perfector. Shit, I can't remember the name of it. Either way, it comes in a jar. The jar is like yay big. It might be a little bit taller than this. and it's concentrated pigment. So basically you use like the tiniest bit to, like y'all could see I had really redness all around here and then right in this area. So I just took my little sample. It's probably like $6 now, but it's worth it because you use so little. Like literally, that's all I'm using for the little spots that I have. Because your girl is not, she's not feeling like herself. So we're not doing a whole face today. We're going to give you natural girl realness. I mean, it's apropos. We're heading into the summer months anyway.
So really bad. I'm like, how do I get this to stay? All right, that'll work.
And then with you being down in Miami, Can, I think you probably would love this product. I gotta get you the right name. I'm putting it in the comments, y'all. If you know what it, I mean, in the box. But if you guys know what it is, please put it in the comments because right now my brain is drawing a blank. I haven't used this shit in so damn long.
Yeah. Also, this is interactive. Feel free to comment. Feel free to let us know what you're watching in the comments so that we can comment if we've seen it, or if not, we can start getting on board. All right. Where would you like to begin?
Girl, let's get into these folks down to the Huntsville. I love this shit because it looks like skin. And I did not use but like the teeniest bit. Look at that.
Huntsville. Oh my God. Oh God.
Where I will start is Lou pissed me off so bad last night.
He did because he wanted a moment.
And it was clear that that's what you was trying to create. And while I understand that that's your wife and you want to, you don't want to seem like a punk on national television and whatever else have you, you know what I mean? Like I hear all of that, but like my man, like the great Dustin Ross says, I'm with you when you write. And in this instance, I was not like, what the fuck are you talking about? Tiffany was dead ass wrong. Messy or not, she was dead ass wrong. She should have never approached Sheree and asked her any of the questions in the way that she did, while also at the same time defaming someone that you claim to be friends with.
Okay, I think I may have a different take from you on this one.
I mean, well, what it is, girl.
For one party, but not the other. Okay. My take for the whole... So for y'all who are watching, I'm sure you know, Tiffany went up to Sheree at Martell's event and was just being reckless, talking about Mel, talking about just Martell's a cheater. How's it feel to be with a cheater? I hope your parts are, in tip-top shape to be able to keep him. Yes, your poom whatever is in tip-top shape to be able to keep him. Said all kinds of reckless stuff. So the week after that, just catching up, she was supposed to meet with Martell about something business related with an event that she was putting on. And Martell was already at Black with Marceau studying for his construction. What is it? His builder's license or whatever?
Yes.
So he was there with Marceau when Tiffany showed up. And of course, this is the first time he's seen Tiffany since the mess. And so he's going to say something about it. So here's where my take is. And so now Big Lou is mad because he's like, two men approach my wife with this foolishness. And so here's where I have a little bit of a different take. Go ahead. And my take is that I don't subscribe to the whole men can't talk to women. And I know we're going to come back for a young, famous and African thing, but I appreciate that they have a level playing field. Like if you said something to me, I'm going to say it back to you. It's no, you got to go through a wife, whatever, blah, 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 or you got to go through a husband. So I get that, but.
Not a gray hair on my neck, bitch. Carry on.
I get that, but I feel very strongly that you have to play by everybody's got to be playing by the same rules. And Marceau would have been pissed off if somebody had done that to Tisha. Pissed. And I feel like because this was not his hill to climb, he should have excused himself to go run the bar that he owns and let Martell handle the situation with Tiffany. I think he was out of line. I agree with Lou that Marceau was out of line. Martell was not, because that was Martell's, and Lou was like, oh, well, if Sheree had a problem, then Sheree should say something to Tiffany. Sheree she don't even know these people. Why would she be the one to say something?
And the thing is, like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was finished. Go ahead.
No, I'm about to say, and the thing is, like, you two are his friends. So why would she say something to his friends?
Yeah. So that's where I differ a little bit, because I think he had a valid, not that I agree with the way that they handle things, but I think we have to be fair across the board. And Marceau would not have tolerated someone violating that code as it related to Tisha.
I don't disagree with you on that. Initially, so I stay watching the Carlos with the King. Right now, I'm doing my Laura Mercier translucent in honey. So that because that Kevin Aquan is a thicker product, you want to set it immediately so that way you don't have a whole lot of little lines, which I do right now because I forgot to do this part, but that's all right.
Okay.
So, but like, I agree, but also, like, again, in the infamous words of Dustin Ross, I'm with you when you're right. And while Marceau didn't have a dog in that fight, shouldn't have had anything to say about it. I almost feel like it was one of those things where he didn't necessarily know all of what was said, because it seemed as though Martell did not tell him all this stuff was said. So he was having genuine reactions in the moment.
I agree. He was reacting in real time. I don't think that he went into it with like a intention to be all in that. I think he went into it like he was just going to observe some mess, because like at the end of the day, here's the thing that I know about Marceau. I have said from a long time, Marceau is my problematic favorite. He really is, because Marceau is going to be in the mess, and he is going to go home and tell Tisha about the mess. He likes being in the mess. And he will say stuff to like instigate the mess and keep the party going as well. So Marceau be in it, okay? And I love that about him. But again, with these, bro codes, and it's the South, you know how they are about this like manly man, don't talk to my wife if I'm not here. It's like, it's the culture, and I respect the culture, and I think that they also have to respect the culture, that they would not have liked that if someone had done that to their wives or girlfriends or whomever. And so that's where I fall out. But Lewis always comes in so incredibly hot, and it's just like, dude, you're not even getting ready to do nothing.
Right, like the old people, you wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Ain't that what they used to say?
I think so. It's something like that, yeah.
But it just be phony, like, because so I was watching the review with Carlos and Dustin, and he was just kind of like, Dustin was in agreement with you that Marceau shouldn't have had nothing to say about it. But I'm like, give Marceau some grace, because like I said, he was responding in real time. Like, what, you said that?
No, he was like that. And I agree, he was absolutely responding in real time, and that's why he had that reaction. But at the end of the day, I just feel like once he realized what was going on, he should have just been like, you know what, this is not what I'm here for. I'm here for the study, and let me go behind the bar. Y'all need something to drink? Tiffany, you're pregnant. You want some ice water? Like, he could have found a way to excuse himself out of the conversation and let the two parties involved be the two parties involved. And I think he just got too caught up in the mess. And he was just like, and listen, the girls do it all the time on reality TV. They get too caught up in the mess and be like, ooh, I went too far. And I think that's what happened with Marceau. Like, and Tiffany said at the end of the conversation that both of them were like, oh, I guess Lewis should have been here. And it's like they at the end realized, okay, whoops, we kind of violated bro code here. And
but not only that, she also put 10 on 20, because
doesn't she always?
Like, and she does, because clearly this is the second week of her doing such. But it's just kind of like, girl, like, they did not attack you. You came into a situation and Martell brought up a topic about something that you had said and did.
Yeah.
And then Marceau was just reacting in real time. So like we already said, he could have removed himself. He didn't. It is what it is. The shit happened the way it happened.
And then the whole idea of like, oh, they approached me with this. And it's like, they didn't approach you. It wasn't like they called you, like, Tiffany, come down to the bar. Y'all were supposed to be meeting about something else, and Martell took the opportunity. And so I think that was valid. I thought what he did was valid. And y'all know I am loath to agree with Martell Hall on anything. But when he said, when Lewis was trying to get him to admit that he was wrong, like, okay, she was out of order, but you were still wrong. He was like, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Absolutely right.
I actually agree with him on that. A broke clock is right twice a day. That was his twice. That was his once.
I'm doing NARS, and this is Exhibit A. It's just a, oops. It's like a, damn.
Y'all don't care what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So.
It's an orange. So this will look really good on your skin too, Can. And I did, as we were talking, this is a cloud paint. So more of a, because I was doing more of a natural girl aesthetic today. So this is from Glossier, and it's just like a peachy orange, but these will be really pretty on my skin tone and deeper.
Okay.
So definitely you will be really pretty in these two.
Amazing. All right. So that was that. Mel at the baby shower.
Listen, I'm glad that she didn't even take the bait.
Let me tell you.
And the thing that pissed me off, though, is that she tried to say, I don't understand why these people insist upon talking about things that don't have nothing to do with me. And I'm like, girl, you walked into a conversation that was already being had.
Yeah.
And then they decided to catch you up because they were having it.
Agreed. I think she's one of those people that just thinks that the world revolves around her. And so like all of a sudden she came to the function, and now all of a sudden the girls have something to say. It's like, girl, the conversation was half over, if we be honest.
I'm saying, like,
you got to the function, so relax.
You're doing a lot.
But yeah, when I tell you, as much as she irritates me, I feel like that's what I would act like on reality TV. It'd be like, girl, I don't have nothing to say, so I'm going to get up and see myself out. Tiffany, it was good to see you. Happy delivery.
Like,
you your gift here. I wish you the best. Let's catch up next week for lunch. And I would have been out.
Child. It's really a mess. That's what it comes down to.
But really, you know, I respected that she's like, I'm not getting ready to. She seems like she tried with Martell to try to have some sort of like amicable situation with him, and he just always goes too far. And now she's tired. She's like, I don't want to be anywhere where he is, and I think that's valid.
I mean, do you? But she still gets on my nerves.
No, she gets like, for sure.
I don't know if we talked about this the last time, but like the daughter's birthday party thing, and how she went so hard about him not being there and he wasn't invited and trying to get him to leave and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, I understand, like, you know, sticking your flag in the mud and like, this is how you want to operate and move forward with your ex-partner. I hear this strongly, but at the same time, it's like you making a bigger scene that your children are going to be privy to than to just be like, you know what, you're here now. Come and speak to her, tell her happy birthday, and then all I ask is that you leave once you do.
Yeah, and we talked about that a little bit the last time we recorded, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I feel like she does too much with it sometimes, and that's her biggest fault is doing too much. Mm-hmm. Marceau, I mean, Marceau
brow dip right now.
Maurice, I have some words for him.
Maurice is just annoying. And what I thought about after the fact was that, like, when we first started watching the show 6 seasons ago, we were so like turned off by Marceau's like misogyny antics that we failed to see that Maurice was the fucking same.
Actually, I don't think that we failed to see that. If you go back, we were kind of like,
it's like, but his was more like an undercover, like,
I think we've been doing a good job of calling him a fuckboy from the beginning. But yes, I think Marceau was a little bit more overt about his chaos and foolishness and misogyny and all of the things, so it was easier to react to that. But I know that I recall being like, he ain't right either. Particularly, particularly when it came to his son moving in with he and Kimmy. As soon as that happened and Kimmy was like, yeah, but it's 3 men here, and because her son was there at the time too, so she was like, it's 3 men here and it's only 1 woman, so you telling me I gotta do all the household stuff while y'all don't do nothing? And I was like, flag on the play.
Like, that's not happening, Kevin, because if you expect me to cook, clean, and all that, and y'all not doing shit, you'll be fending for yourself.
Yeah. So anyways, let's come back to that because I want to have like a fuller episode about that one. But yeah, so he's just, and Kimmy, I appreciated Kimmy having like a very honest conversation about like the sex drive and how all of that's been affected with her cancer treatments and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe some people it doesn't affect them, but I'm like, I don't know how it wouldn't have affected you, and I don't know how you wouldn't have anticipated that it would affect your, libido and things like that.
I mean, it just tanks your energy in general.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, like the people that I've gone, well, the person, my Aunt Michelle, that I went with to go through all of her chemo treatments and all that kind of stuff, she would just be really, really zonked for days.
Yeah.
Sometimes so zonked that she wasn't able to answer the phone and shit. So I would like pop up and look at her. She used to call me her warden because I would I had a key to the house. So I would pop up and just be in there looking over her like, are you
let me put my eyes on you. Just need to see
but not even that, like to the point of like, she said that one time she thought I was gonna do one of these to make sure that there was air coming out of her nose. And I'm like, shit, because I was the one that had to report to your sister, the real warden, what was going on. Like, yes.
Whatever it takes, I'm Michelle.
Okay. I'm like, you ain't gonna get me cussed out by my mama because she worried about her sister.
Did I just break my earring? I did. God damn it.
So, but yeah. But I think that which I thought was interesting that so while I don't know if the shows or the episodes are being aired in chronological order.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
When she did Lord, my puppy is dreaming over here, so you can hear him like,
nope, not dreaming.
He over here like growling. It's so funny. Anyway,
on you, puppy.
But she was like talking about going. They had the party, to like celebrate her finishing the chemo. I made this too dark for the natural brow, but that's okay. So and to then go to this part where like they're in the car and she's talking about like, I'm glad that we're going on to the next step and like I'm gonna do the chemo and just that'll be the last thing that we do. I don't know if maybe there's just pieces missing.
I think there's pieces missing.
Or if it was a chronological like mismatch.
I think it probably is a little bit of both, honestly. It's probably pieces missing because we didn't see anything to do with her surgery, which I think is fine and respect their privacy. We didn't see anything to do with their surgery, which was after the chemo. So we're basically seeing her in recovery from the surgery with like little to no mention of the surgery. And now she's moving into like a radiation space is what it seems like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that chunk is missing. And so honestly, I feel like maybe production is piecing this together around Kimmy a little bit as far as like what her energy levels were and when she was able to record and things like that. So they may be kind of mixing things up and like piecing stuff together.
Well, either way, I love that she's showing up and showing this process for us as Black women, because like a lot of the stuff that she's talking about, I didn't necessarily know that. Not that my aunt was obligated to tell me any of this stuff, you know what I mean? But it's just like things that you learn, like this is an aside, we can probably have this conversation another day, but my sister has been talking about her going through menopause and like all the shit that happens in menopause, and like I didn't know that either. So I'm like,
actually, I had a conversation and we got another conversation coming up later about intergenerational friendships. But I actually had a similar conversation with one of my older friends. She's like my mom's age. She's like a mentor / older friend. And she was like telling me all the ins and outs. And even my grandma has shared stuff with me. And yeah, that's part of the benefit of having like some age gaps between the people in your life, to be able to shed light on those things,
I'm telling you, I love my my bestie Frankie. Shout out to you. We're gonna have her on.
To talk a little more about that.
Yeah.
All right. So what else on Love and Marriage Huntsville? Is that it?
Child, that's it. Them people were wearing me out.
They have been.
I ain't really got at this point. I feel like Tiffany is persona non grata because everybody got beef with Tiffany.
100%. 100%. It's like, ma'am, go nest. Okay.
Please.
Okay, let's stay with the reality TV for a little bit. Have you been watching Summer House Martha's Vineyard?
Yes, and them freaking people, I'm trying to stop cursing. That couple pissed me off so bad. Even though the girl with the dog irritated the life out of me,
Bria.
They pissed me off so bad because you told this girl that he could come and stay a week, and then you turned around and reneged.
And here's the thing about Bria, okay? Bria has in fact pushed a lot of boundaries, okay? We talked about it the last time we recorded. Bringing the dog with Black people is a lot. Now that now the Black people have gotten over the dog. They're happy with the dog being in the house. Well, I won't say happy, but they're at least adjusted to the dog being in the house. And now you're pushing the boundaries with the boyfriend. However, and honestly, before I get to my however, honestly, she did ask them in a moment where they had all been drinking. So it's possible that they did not remember what was going on.
But I feel like she asked him about that shit twice. It wasn't just when they was drinking. Like, just want to be sure because he's coming, this and the third. Like, she made mention of it. And every time they were like, yeah, that's totally fine. Right. I think they started changing their tune once the other friend came and caused chaos and confusion.
Yeah. So that's my however. It's like, y'all agreed to it. Whether or not you explicitly were like, yeah, bring him on. Come on. It's like, y'all nodded. Y'all said, okay. Uh-huh. Y'all were on board, and now you're not. And I don't like that because this man is coming from Germany. It's not like he can, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he can just change. I mean, he can change his flight, but it's not like he's down the street where he could just go on about his day. That's not what's happening. The man is coming from Germany.
Facts.
To spend time with his girlfriend, and now y'all want to change y'all tune at the last minute. And let me tell you something about Silas. He's on my nerves anyway.
Controlling as hell.
And I really appreciate it. Now, Nick has gotten on my nerves, but he got a couple of points from me when he called Silas out. Broke clock is right twice a day. Nick was right. He called Silas out to be like, yeah, you are controlling. And why do you think that all of a sudden this woman who has been doing fine in her life without you, she has made it to you safely, which means that she and her friends have a system. They're taking care of each other. They are fine.
Mm-hmm. They don't need your supervision.
They don't need your supervision. She don't need your control. She can go out and have a good time with her friends, and you ought to trust her to be able to make it back home in one piece, and trust her friends. Also, these women work at the Playboy Club. If anything was going to happen, I'm sorry, it would have happened. So, like, trust that they can manage themselves. And he is just giving, like, he's trying to control everything in the house, and it's getting on my nerves.
Everything and everybody.
And then even the conversation that he was having with Bria, it's like, then you want to go upstairs. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to smooth it over, be like, you know, we just had the concerns because, and I think we should maybe have the conversation as a house. I'm thinking that's going to be the tone of his conversation with Bria. And he goes up there and start a whole new round of arguing with her.
He's something else. That's really what it comes down to.
That's why I don't date military men.
Because I'm like, child, well, we grew up in the military areas. That's really why.
I never dated.
I'm like, that's really why, because we grew up in the military area. We know
that they're like that. That's why. Like, they act, a lot of them like that, and the other half are hoes. So,
child. Okay, we're all together now, giving you natural girl realness for the day.
Okay, so also Shanice is a stalker. Did you?
So the thing that irritated me is that where was there you got this story from her ex who said that she did all this weird shit, but like then when she talks about it, she's just like, yeah, I called him a bunch of times when we were together or we had a fight or whatever the case may be. It just seems like it's a mismatch. It seems like he was probably a celebrity and the publication ran this story and made her look like she was more than what it made it, the whole situation look like it was more than what it was.
Okay. I'm willing to go along with that.
And my thing too with the Alex kid or whatever, my thing is like, you don't know this girl from Adam. So because you read this damn story online, that's automatically who she is. Like, come on, cuz.
Yeah.
People could have said that she was John Legend's crazy ass cousin, and people would like, you wouldn't want them to believe that. Not that nobody is saying that. I'm just saying they would have said that about him. You know what I mean? So it's like you have a celebrity family member. People say things about them all the time. Publications are written about celebrities all the time to defame them or to make them look crazy in some sort of way, and it does not mean that the shit is true.
It does not. It does not. So I agree with you on that.
This is Rosewater, y'all.
Was that everything for them? I mean, they went fishing. That was fun. What else did they do? I don't know.
Amir's heartfelt like meltdown in the kitchen. I don't understand where that came from exactly.
Me neither. I was like, do not follow.
It did not. There was no proper context for it, but I did appreciate his vulnerability, you know, for what it was. Like, not that we still don't know what the hell was going on, but you know, okay.
Yeah.
He's not problematic by the least, so I don't have no issues with him.
Yeah, same.
He just kind of flies under the radar.
Anything else go on? Oh, let me just say this. Beer pong is nasty. I hate that game. I ain't never played that game. I don't even like seeing that game. It's nasty. That's all.
I always thought that beer pong was for our friends on the other side.
Along with toga parties. I'm like, what in the world kind
of? Like, that's for our friends on the other side of the street. I ain't never did no shit like that.
Out and about with the fraternities.
We never did nothing like that.
I don't never remember no damn beer pong down. So I never saw beer pong until I was in law school, actually. And I was just like, now what the hell is going on here? And y'all are letting the ball roll. It's a bar. I was just like, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. And so it was a no for me, and it still remains a no for me. But I did not know Black people play beer pong. I swear to God, I didn't. And I know they had toga parties either, because I never went to those at all.
I don't think they do any of those things. I think they did that shit for the television.
Okay, well, we're going to have to say that because I was like, beer pong? We don't do that.
Maybe Amir did some of these things because he said that he grew up. I'm not trying to be funny. Don't do that. But I'm saying, like, maybe he did some of these things because of like his upbringing and like where he went to school and how he grew up and all that kind of stuff. But like these blackity black ass folks,
well, all of them ain't blackity black.
I'm not saying anything.
So, anyways, I was just like, y'all playing beer pong? Like the whole setup was, I was like, maybe times have changed. But I don't never remember playing beer. I never saw beer pong till I went to law school. And that was with a whole bunch of white kids at the bar.
I'm trying to think of like what games we even played. Child, I don't
remember no game. The people was just drunk.
It was a party, okay?
That's all I remember is drinking and shaking tush. And I didn't drink, but I was there for the drinking and the shaking tush. I did plenty of that. But like, I don't remember.
Thanks.
That's all I remember, you know? So anyways, that was that. All right, let's get through some of this pop culture stuff and then we can move on.
Yes. I'm pulled my list back up, so I put this away.
DC Young Fly and Jackie O dying during her. Oh my God! When I tell y'all that, okay, sorry. Let me complete the sentence. Jackie O died at 32 during a mommy makeover.
Yes, that shit broke my heart. Cause I think their babies are maybe 6 and under.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest child is not even a year old. The little boy
broke my heart. Like literally, I will be sitting. It's almost like not a family member, but I'll just be sitting there and be like, God damn, 32. Like 3 kids, 32. That is so sad.
So fucking young. Like you literally just figuring life out. Hell, at 32, I wouldn't even say that like I had figured shit out. I feel like at 33, I had gotten a little bit more savvy in my, in my adultism.
Yeah.
32, like, and I want to say maybe that was like a birthday gift or something for her. So she was probably like a fresh 32, maybe a couple of months, give or take. But nonetheless, like, damn, I just don't.
It just broke my heart.
Kids.
And
I think
also,
for sure, because he was adamant about always showing his wife and his daughters before the little boy was born earlier this year or the end of last year. I just like,
yeah.
damn.
And also, like, I've thought a lot about this. Maybe sounds probably not unrelated, but I've thought a lot about Kanye in this moment too, of like what his mom passing, you know, as a result of having cosmetic surgery. I think she was in Brazil or something, and like what kind of trajectory that sent him on. And just thinking about, you know, DC Young Fly, and like he's now has 3 kids to take care of, and like, gosh, he has a road ahead of him, and we don't know, like, I'm sure like some of what Kanye especially experienced was guilt as well, because of he probably was the one that paid for it. And I don't know what the dynamics were with them as far as like who was paying, who was encouraging, who did the whatever. But I just feel like he has a long road of recovery ahead of him, in addition to raising these 3 children now. It's just a sad situation all around.
Facts.
And then
I don't wish that shit on nobody, especially like
at all.
When you got small babies. Like the sad part is they so young, especially the last 2, they probably not gonna even remember. Well, the baby for sure ain't gonna remember mommy, but the older child, she might. But I mean,
but very small glimpses, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
just really sad.
Prayers up for the DC family,
please. And then while we're right here, RIP Tina Turner. We haven't recorded since she passed. She lived a full life, and I feel like I'm happy she was on her chalet and having a good time, and she was in, you know.
I'm glad that in her later years of life, she got to live on her terms, on her own terms.
Yeah.
Considering like Tina Turner was someone that especially like when I was in middle school and high school, I really like learned a lot about her life. I need to watch her documentary that's on HBO.
Same.
HBO Max. I know there was one that I saw during the pandemic, but I thought Demetria L. Lucas was talking about it on her podcast. So I'm wondering if there is another like piece of it, because I watched.
No, I think that's the one.
Okay, well I've seen that already.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's really good. It definitely brought some tears to my eyes just to see her like rise to like the level of fame that she got to after all the shit that she went through. Like, talk about like Phoenix rising from the ashes.
Yeah, I actually listened to an episode of, I want to say It's Been a Minute. I love that podcast. Brittany Luce. She used to do The Nod, so The Nod was like my jam. And then
send that to me, because I used
to Color Nerds.
Yeah, I listened to both of them. Send it to me.
Yeah, and she had Danielle Smith, of course, illustrious music journalist, and they talked about Tina in an episode, and it was really good. It actually brought me to tears. So I will leave that down below in the description box.
Cool.
And then hold on a minute. Okay. I was like, I'm taking notes so I can like timestamp stuff. All right.
No worries.
Next. Okay. Real quick, Kim Cattrall's cameo on And Just Like That, Sex and the City's remake thing.
So here's the gag for me, is that you don't get to see her to the goddamn end, and she don't have no interaction with the cast.
I don't think, honestly.
I'm like, how that gonna work?
I'm wondering if it's a final goodbye.
I feel like that's what it's gotta be.
I feel like it's gotta be a like. The only reason why I'm saying that maybe not, because I think they still want to leave the door open for her if she so decides, but I'm bracing myself, even though I did not finish And Just Like That. I need somebody's password.
I'll send it to you, child.
I did not finish it Just Like That, but I do feel like I'm braced for a Samantha Jones. This is my final goodbye. The cancer has come back. It is aggressive. It is the end. And there's nothing more to say or do. We're not going to get that meeting. There's nothing more to say or do. That is what I'm feeling like might be happening as like a final I feel like the conversation with her and the people over at HBO, because she did not talk to Sarah Jessica Parker. She did not want to be involved with what's the showrunner?
I don't know their name, but she didn't want to fuck with
she
one of
didn't
them.
want to be involved with
somebody at the top of HBO.
I feel like the only way they got her back was to say the fans deserve a final goodbye.
I'm like, the fans was missing you, even though we got the beautiful either Indian or Arabic. I don't want to miss her ethnicity. I don't know that. I don't know her ethnicity. Let me just say it that way.
Yeah.
Even though we got her, and I loved her character, I loved the coolness of her. We didn't get enough of her, and like she doesn't replace Samantha. So I'm hopeful that in this new season, because I'm committed to watching it at this point. I watched all of Sex and the City.
I watched all of Sex and the City religiously. I did not watch And Just Like That because they ran me hot. I think we have an interview. I mean, we have a previous episode.
It was boring. They were literally trying to touch all the issues that transpired in the last like 5 years, and it's just like, y'all are like rich housewives on the upper or lower east side, depending on who was where, and it's like y'all don't care about none of this.
Like, girl, please relax.
The women that live this way in reality they are so far removed and separated from the average person. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, as a whole, it was not curling all the way over for me. But like I said, we'll see what happens with our girl Samantha Jones. I am not optimistic that this is going to be the fond moment that the fans are hoping for. It feels very much like a final farewell of like, please give the fans just one more chance to like say their proper goodbye to you as Samantha Jones. That's what it feels like to me. But I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong about that. Last thing I have up here, Tasha K has filed for bankruptcy.
Girl, I feel like y'all can head on over to the cousins Ebony K. Williams podcast. What's it called? Holding Court with Ebony K. Williams and Dustin Ross. I feel like they said it best. Dustin said it best, and basically he was just kind of like that Tasha is a real talent. She has great comedic timing. She blew her chances of like stardom because she was on the level of a young Wendy Williams in terms of like the problematic commentary and the aggressiveness, but the comedic timing. Like, he really talked about it in their last episode, and he was just like, I wish that she had to just cop to it early on, apologized, and took the videos down, and we would not be here now. Because now anything that she puts up on YouTube, all that is going to Cardi B, and to the tune of what was it, 3.5 or 4 million?
Whatever one of the two. It's all Cardi until she pays it off. And as soon as she finds something else to do, Cardi's going to find out about that too. So it's like, this lady can't move without Cardi coming for her coins. And I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I'm like, okay, enough. But like,
Cardi said,
Cardi gave her ample opportunity to walk that shit back and do better. And she just absolutely refused. So,
I wonder, because I feel like because at the time that all this was happening, I was watching Tasha K's lives on Friday nights because she was fucking funny. Like, it is what it is. Problematic, but she was funny. And I feel like there were, Tasha was asking Cardi to like come on to the show, or them to do some sort of live conversation together where they could like face off. And Cardi was just like, absolutely not. So because she said no, Tasha said no, and we're gonna drag this thing out in court and may the best man win. But it's like, that's too goddamn risky. Like, your whole empire, and she was making bank.
Yeah. Look, Cardi didn't owe her that. That was a lie. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, the ultimate defense for libel, slander, all of these defamation stuff is truth. And it was not the truth. And it was honest. And the worst part is an allegation that is so clear that you can prove whether it's true or not. Okay. And so it's like, girl,
You're doing too much.
You did too much. You did too much, and she didn't owe her to go on her platform. Like it felt like she was doing it based on like what I've heard. I never watched Tasha K, but based on what I've heard, it seemed like she was doing it to get the audience of one, which is Cardi, and force her to come over to her platform to try to boost her platform, and it didn't work. And now you're out of a job, and any job that you find is like Cardi's going to be right there.
I wouldn't say that she's out of a job.
Not out of a job, out of the money from her work.
Yeah, she's still continuing to like put out content, but I don't think that she's not getting the streams that she once got.
No, and she's not going to. Like, there's an argument, you know, like people ought to be able to live, so maybe they're not giving Cardi all the money, but yeah, she had to file for
basically she should have took the telltale signs of what happened to damn Derrick Jaxxon. You know what? Why don't we talk about that next while we're here?
Let's do it. I don't have anything to say.
Did you watch the Dear Wifey podcast?
No.
Okay. So I do subscribe to Dear Future Wifey from Latarius R. Whitfield. I don't watch it anymore, but like at the earlier stage of the iteration of this podcast, it was really interesting. The conversations he was having with people and the guests that he would have on and them talking about marriage. And sometimes it would be a little bit of religion and rolled into it. And it was good, right? What I will say, we kind of talked about this on my live that I do with friend of the show, Sherry. We do that every Thursday on Instagram if y'all want to join us. But we kind of talked about it there where we were just kind of like, everybody was so quick to have like slanderous commentary about Danae Jackson. And understandably, even Demetrius said the same thing. Like, sis came out of the gate talking to people crazy about a relationship that you willingly participated in.
She cursed people.
Yes. I was just trying to say it nicely.
She literally told them she put grits. She put grits on people.
She tried to.
I don't know if it was successful or not. And girl, don't try me, but
my thing is, I believe that it wasn't successful because here you are a year or two later and you're having you're having revelations in real time and talking about it in a way that we all now know that you do got some damn sense. You was just stuck in a regime in a way of being under this person. So
and in like a defensive posture of this person. And you know, it's giving very like, I'm gonna stick beside him. And it's like, girl, well, he's not sticking beside you.
He's not. And the thing that pissed me off, so shout out to Girl Is That Legal, which is another YouTube show with Simone Redwine of Ready to Love. What I love about Kandron, you need to watch her.
I subscribe, but her episodes be so damn long.
Like, so I don't watch all of it. I just kind of wait till, if it's live, I wait till it gets to the part that I want to see. So she started this new thing where she'll have like anonymous like guest fans that watch or whatever who want to know information about people that they're dating, and she will do the fucking background checks. She redacts personal information, but she will give you like they have umpteen children and they're in the rears for child support and they have this and that. That is funny.
Okay, now you sold it.
and Simone, to her credit, is hysterical. She's funny to me. So but she also did like a deep dive into Derrick Jaxxon because she was like, I'm nosy and I have a business where I can what is the system called where they can look stuff up?
Mr. Lexis.
There you go.
I'm sure she's got Lexis access if she's she owns her own law firm.
Yeah. And so and I think she's in the process to get like her title company and stuff set up. I would love to talk to her. She's really fucking interesting. Really smart. But so she was talking about like how the home that he would keep her up in, like probably out in Roswell or Alpharetta or whatever, far away from the damn city. Basically, she thought,
by the way.
What'd you say?
Shouts out to Twink. Go ahead. We always gotta give a shout out to Twink where it applies. Shout out to Twink. Go ahead.
Yo, I hope that nigga all right, man.
All right. I'm sure he is.
But yeah, so Danae thought this whole time that home that she was living in and raising them kids that they owned, Simone found that it was being rented.
That was a lie.
And that it was a lie, yes. She also found that the condo that he was always talking about that he, had to go work out of in like downtown Atlanta or wherever it was, that was an apartment. So that was also a lie. She basically said that she also said, and these are things that like y'all can go and watch the Ages and Stages or Girl Is That Legal and see what I'm talking about. She also went on to say that he's in the rears with American Express or one of the other major companies to the tune of like $35,000 or something like that, and that is in court. It's been like delayed or whatever, so there was no final judgment, but that's happened. And she also told us that Danae told us that they filed for divorce in the state of Texas, and in the state of Texas, you don't get nearly, it's like a liability state if you're filing for divorce in that state, because you don't get nearly as much as you should filed anywhere else. So basically, like she was like, it'll be like $3,500, something like that. And she got 3 kids that she's raising. So Derrick decided to file in Texas, and then a couple of days later, she filed after him in the same place.
In Texas? Why she didn't file in Georgia?
No clue. She could have filed anywhere.
I don't know that I don't know that Georgia is more favorable, just so we're clear. I'm assuming because Texas is Texas and they protect
men.
I mean, above all else. So I can't imagine that Texas is more favorable than Georgia. Gosh.
So shout out to Ages and Stages and Girl Is That Legal, Simone Redwine, and Rashid. I don't know his last name, but
yeah, me either.
But yes, funny, good information. She does like teach you about like property stuff and like going through divorce and trying to get like the last episode I watched, which was the one about the Jacksons. I learned a lot about like housing and like divorce and all kinds of stuff. So either way, just watch it, y'all. It's entertaining and it's also informative.
Right.
But yes, Danae, I now have a little bit of sympathy for, well, not a little bit. I do have genuine sympathy for her because now I have the understanding that you were someone who was like taken advantage of. And at some point you were complicit in the actions of it all. You didn't know any better. You're from a small town. Like you've never experienced anybody like him. And you didn't necessarily know how to handle it. And then also you got married and moved across the country because she's not even from the East Coast.
Where's she from?
Colorado.
Oh, so she ain't never encountered a N-word like him. Bless her heart. Go ahead.
So you move all the way across the country. You're far from your family. You're isolated, and you're making this life with this person who you deem as your partner and your husband, and you're faithful, and you're trying to stick to your marital vows, and you're staunch in your religion. So like these are the things that are weighing on you, in addition to like she stated that she did talk to a couple of counselors, some of which were religious counselors, which I think that she might have alluded to that probably wasn't the best route to go, because they're going to kind of like steer you towards staying in your problematic relationship, not unless they are of the newer generation of religious pastors and pastoring, who have,
and a lot of people will try to steer you into staying in a relationship unless there's actual physical abuse, and sometimes still, but
I mean, she had all the abuse minus the physical.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like most people, especially in those religious sort of circumstances, they're like, oh, well, you could just work through it, unless somebody is putting hands and feet. And even then sometimes, but like a lot of times, unless it's hands and feet involved, they are like, well, girl, you can just work through it. And it's like, no,
I can't.
Abuse comes in all formats. And it seems like he was exacting each and every one except for physical violence.
Agreed. So either way, y'all go check out the podcast that I mentioned. Shut up. Dear Future Wifey with Laterras R. Whitfield, and Ages and Stages with Rashid and Simone, and then Girl Is That Legal, which is Simone's YouTube solely.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yes. I think that's everything. So we will leave all of the things that we've referenced. We're going to leave it down in the description box. I'm going to try to find links to all of the episodes that we talked about, as well as all of our makeup deets are down below. I didn't share because I don't be doing nothing exciting. Y'all know how this goes, but I'll still share everything down below with links. Follow our links. We get a couple of few dollars and cents off of that. So, and until next time, we'll talk to you later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.
Bye, friends. Oh, wait. I always do this.